Namaste, greetings everyone. If you're anything like me, you've been sitting a lot more during this time of social distancing, not only because I've been around a computer a lot more trying to get stuff done, but I find myself just being home more and not out and about in the world. We've had a lot more rain recently in the last few weeks, which has kept us inside even more. And so I got a lot of stuff going on in my shoulders, waking up with achy shoulders, sleeping on my side, all kinds of stuff just from all this time spent sitting over a desk or even sitting on the couch and things like that. So today I wanted to lead us through a few different exercises and techniques that we could do to help open up the space of the chest, the upper back, but specifically in the context of the shoulders. So you will want some type of strap or belt, or you could even use a towel or an old t-shirt, just something, well actually a t-shirt won't work, but a towel will. You want something that's relatively wide, that can go at least as wide as you can take your arms overhead. Here I'm using a yoga strap because I'm a yoga teacher and got plenty of them laying around the house, but you can grab whatever it is that is going to work for you in this practice. So let's go ahead and get into the exercises. So with these first exercises, you can do them seated or standing. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to demonstrate them sitting, and you'll notice I'm sitting on my shins, my hips on my heels, but you could be sitting cross-legged, however you're comfortable sitting. Sit up on a block or a pillow or a bolster, it's all fine. You just want to make sure that you've got the capacity to sit up tall, or if you're standing, just that the spine is relatively neutral to the pelvis. For our first exercise, we're just going to get a little movement going in the shoulders, and that's going to be through some simple shoulder circles. I'm going to start with both moving at the same time and same direction and sending them up and back, down the back and forward, so making this nice circular motions. I'll reverse that, go the other way, start to send the shoulders, draw them back and then up the back and then forward and down. And then start to alternate a bit, going forward and back, switching up the timing of the shoulders. All right. It's okay if you're getting some clunk, 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 click, 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 click sounds. That's pretty normal. Most of what that is just the tight muscles of the upper back rubbing and clicking over the ribs. So once you've done that for a bit, a little more blood and lubrication and fluid in the shoulders, go ahead and bring your arms out wide by your side so they're roughly parallel to the floor. Extend your wrists, so it's going to send your fingers up towards the ceiling, and then push out through your arms. You want to imagine like walls are pushing the hands in, and instead you're pushing them out, really feeling the chest get broad. Hug your shoulder blades gently onto your back, but feel them going a little wider as you're pushing out through the arms. A few breaths here, keep lifting the fingers up towards the sky. Bring your palms so they're back parallel to the floor. So you're in essence pointing through your fingers, and just make some gentle circular motions with the arms and hands. Doing the circles forward and back a few times. Just small circles to start. And then as you're going back with your circles, let the circles get a little bigger. And then forward a little bigger. I'm going to spend a lot of time doing these, just allowing some blood to get into the shoulders. All right, release the arms, wiggle them out. Inhale to reach your arms up overhead, and then bend your arms at the elbows, making the goalpost shape with your arms. Upper arms roughly parallel to the floor. And then let your hands gently fall back. It's going to add some rotation into your shoulder. Now you'll notice the more the hands fall back and the more rotation you get from the upper arm bone, the more the shoulder blades are going to start to land on the back and push the sternum forward. That's fine. Just be mindful that you're not puffing up your ribs and now dumping this in your low back. So keep your belly gently toned to help support the neutrality of the spine. Gaze can be forward or gently look up as you pull your heart up. But again, you're not trying to puff up your front ribs. You want to keep the spine relatively neutral and perhaps just getting some gentle thoracic extension. Let your gaze come back so it's straight ahead. Keep the upper arm in the same position, but then we're going to let the arms internally rotate as the hands come down. And just do that a few times. Let the hands come all the way back, and then the hands all the way down. All the way back, and all the way down. You could also do this along the floor or against a wall with your back to the wall, just to notice the curious things that the shoulder blades do and the places where there might be a little impingement through the shoulder and a lack of mobility, just to get a sense of what's going on through these ranges of motion. All right, then wiggle them out. Send your arms wide again. This time, cross your left arm underneath the right. You might want to grab your shoulders, or you can go to the backs of the hands or your palms. With the arms interlaced, spell your name with your elbows. If you have a short name, spell it twice. If you got a long name, just spell it once. Okay. Send out your arms again, and then cross the right arm under your left. Finding the interlace of your arms, spell your name again. Great job. Release the arms. On this point, we're going to find our strap or belt or towel, whatever you got. You're going to go pretty wide with the strap, and as you or whatever it is that you're grabbing, and grab it so you have your closed fist with your knuckles pointing forward in the same direction as your gaze, and then inhale to bring the strap all the way up and overhead. Now for now, just go to where it makes sense here without having to change the hands at all. You'll start to notice some nice fun sensations in the back here. I say fun, a little tongue-in-cheek. You'll also notice that the further you go back, the more the front ribs try to puff up again to avoid the sensation in the shoulders. Keep the trunk neutral, and if you need to, you can always widen your hands a little further, because eventually we're going to start to bring the hands all the way back and around behind us. So again, if you need a little more room there, send your hands a little wider to help make that happen. Send the arms all the way up and then forward, and then all the way back and around. Now this can be quite intense, in particular if you don't tend to go in these back ranges very often, so take your time. If you're noticing that you're compensating just to get it back there, you don't get extra points for getting it further back, so only go into the ranges that really make sense. But as I said, this can be quite intense on the shoulders, but it's really helping to encourage that full range of motion again. But if you've been hunched over a computer for weeks, days, months, decades, this is going to be an unfamiliar place for the shoulders to go, so only go to a place that makes sense in your body. Inhaling, it brings it up and back, and exhaling it down. So nice and slow, there's no rush. All right, set your towel or your strap aside, hands to your lap. Notice all the sensation in the shoulders. And for our last technique, going to start, you can have your strap handy, but it might not be necessary. Inhale your left arm straight up by the left ear, and you're going to wrap the outer left arm in towards the face. So technically this is external rotation, but the arm's coming in towards the face and head. Bend your left arm at the elbow to bring your hand behind you towards the shoulder blades. Then bring your right arm out in front of you. You're going to internally rotate the arm, which means the thumb is going to turn towards the center and then down, and then bring that hand back behind you. Interlace your hands behind your back. If you can't interlace your hands, That's what we use the strap for, or the towel, or whatever it is you have to work with. Now, a few things here. You might notice overextending the low back again to get the back arm there. See if you can keep your trunk neutral. You might also notice that the upper arm is pushing your chin into your chest, in which case lightly push the back of your head into your arm, not only to strengthen the neck, but to help keep the neck neutral and evoke more sensation underneath the left arm. Nice deep breaths here. Release the arms. We'll switch to the other side. Right arm goes straight up. Wrap the outer arm towards your face. Bend at the elbow. Left arm internally rotates. Send the arm back behind. And you might notice an extreme difference, or maybe even just a subtle difference, between arms on each side. The other side for me is much easier to grab my hands. This side is much more difficult. So maybe you wanted a strap on the other side and you don't need one on this side, or vice versa, but you want to be holding on to something, even if it's just your shirt, so you can get a little bit more precise with the motor control of the muscles working through the arms. Again, as neutral a spine as you can find, nice neutral neck, chin is open, nice deep breaths here. Inhale, release the arms, shake them out. All right, so those are a few simple exercises you can do to help open up the shoulders and create more mobility in the shoulders again. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And thank you so much for joining us today. And please don't forget, if you've enjoyed these videos, to like or to share, or if you can, feel free to donate. You can donate through my website, yogawithashton.com/donate, or join our Patreon community at patreon.com/yogawithashton. Thanks again. Anugrah Hitosmi.